morning children, welcome back to our online classes. Today I am taking class 4, class 7th and 8th together because the topic is common to both of you, noun. So noun, what is a noun? We have learned in previous classes also. So noun is a naming word. A noun is a word which is used as a name of a person, place, animal or things, etc. You have learned in the previous classes. So here noun can be mainly divided into two, concrete noun and abstract noun. What is it? Concrete noun and abstract noun. So what is a concrete noun? So a concrete noun has a material body. We can see, touch it, we can see it, and we can experience it through our senses. So our hearing, touch, smell. So with all these things, with our senses, we can experience it. Concrete nouns. But examples for concrete nouns: book, pen, bench. All these are the examples for a concrete noun. A concrete noun is a noun which has material body. We can touch it, we can see it, we can experience through our senses. An abstract noun, it has no material body. We can't see it, we can't touch it, we can't experience through our senses. They are the names of quality, action or state. Okay, abstract nouns are the names of quality, action or a state. Example: beauty, childhood, happiness. So such are the examples for abstract nouns. So we have seen what is a noun, and the nouns are mainly divided into concrete noun and abstract noun, and what is a concrete noun and what is an abstract noun. Next we have this concrete noun. Again we can divide it into three. Concrete noun, again we divide into three: common noun, proper noun and a collective noun. So what is a common noun? A common noun is a name given in common to every person, place or thing of the same class or a kind. Example: boy. When I say boy, it can be any boy. When I say a girl, it can be any girl. Okay, so it is a name given in common to every person of that particular kind. Okay, so common noun means a noun given in common to every person, place or a thing or animals of the same class or a kind. City. City is a common noun. When I say city, it can be any city. Okay. So then what may be proper noun? Proper noun is a name given to a particular person, a particular place or a particular thing. Examples: my name, your names. It's a name given, a particular name given to a common noun. Okay. So that means boy. Boy is a common noun. Ram. Ram is a particular name given to a common noun. Particular name of a person. Okay. Particular name of a person, a place or thing. Okay. A name given to a particular person, a place or a thing is known as what? Ram. See, I told you common noun city. So, Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata. So different cities. So when I say in name, they are proper noun. So proper noun is a name given to a particular person, place or a thing. Then what is collective noun? We use some words to show a collection or group of persons, places, animals or things. Okay, such words which we use to show a collection or a group are known as a collective noun. Example: herd, herd of cattle, and next a bunch of keys. Okay, crowd of people. So these are the words which we use to show a collection or a group of persons, places, animals or things. Number. So number is the form which indicates that whether the noun is singular or plural. That means it is one or more than one. So number means it can be singular and plural. If the noun denotes only one person, one thing, then we can call it as a singular. And if the noun denotes more than one person, place or thing, is called a plural nouns. So number means singular nouns and plural nouns. Next we have to move to countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns and uncountable nouns. So what is countable noun? Nouns which can be counted. Nouns which can be counted as 1, 2, 3 like that are called countable nouns. So these countable nouns have a plural form. Uncountable means which cannot be counted. Nouns which cannot be counted are called uncountable nouns, like water, milk. Such kinds we can't count as 1, 2, 3 like that. So such nouns are called uncountable nouns. So we have seen what is countable noun and what is uncountable noun. So some nouns now we can use as both countable and uncountable. Example, see stone in this sentence. So here, stone. In the first sentence, the boy threw a stone at me. Here stone is used as a countable. Okay. See in the first sentence, the boy threw a stone at me. Here stone is used as a countable. Second sentence, some houses are made of stones. Here, this one stone is used as a stone is used as stone is used as uncountable. So that means the same noun can be used as a countable and uncountable. Understood now? Okay. Next we have to discuss what is gender. Okay. So gender tells us whether the noun is male or a female. Whether the noun is a male or a female. So 4 kinds of genders are there. The first one is masculine gender. Second, feminine. And the third is common. Fourth one is neuter gender. So what is masculine gender? Nouns that are the names of males. Nouns that are the names of males are called masculine gender. Example, boy, king, man, lion. Such nouns are the names of males. They are called masculine gender. Next, feminine gender means nouns that are the names of females are called what? Nouns that are names of females are called feminine gender. So example, girl, woman, queen. So like that, feminine gender. Then what is common gender? Nouns that are used for both male and female. Some nouns we can be used for both male and female. Such nouns are called common gender. Example, student. Student can be male or a female. At the same time, friend. A friend can be male or a female. Then singer, dancer. All these can be male or female. So some nouns which can be used for both male and females are called common gender. Next is neuter gender. So lifeless things like pen, duster, blackboard, chalk, whatever things. These things, they have no life at all. Such things, the names which we used for such things are called in neuter gender. So they are neuter gender. Lifeless things have no gender, and nouns that denote such things are called neuter gender. I told you example already. Pencil, chair, book, bag, whatever things just no life at all, we can call it as what? A neuter gender. Next thing we have discussed is case. Case shows the relation of a noun to other word in the sentence. What is case? Case shows the relation of a noun to other words in the sentence. Case shows the relation of a noun to other words in the sentence. There are 4 cases. The first one is subjective case. It is also called nominative case. Subjective case or a nominative case. What is meant by subjective case? If a noun is used as the subject of a sentence. If a noun is used as the subject of a sentence, then we can call it as that noun is in which case? That noun is in a subjective case. Did you understand? A noun is used as the subject of a sentence, then we can call it as that noun is in subjective case. Example: Rita met with an accident. Rita met with an accident. Here, Rita is the subject of the verb. So we can say Rita is in which case? It is in subjective case. So when we ask who or what, when we put who or what before the verb, when we put who or what before the verb, then we get what a subject. So subject, nouns in subjective case means it is used as the subject of the sentence. Next is objective case. Or accusative case. What is it, objective case? If a noun is used as the object of the verb. If a noun is used as the object of the verb, then we can call that noun as an objective case. Example: Tom ate an apple. Tom ate an apple. Here, an apple. So apple is used as the object of the verb ate. Okay, apple is used here as the object of the verb ate. So this apple is in which case? It is in an objective case. Then you ask the question, what or whom? We get this. Understood now? Then third one is possessive case. Next is possessive case. So nouns when we use nouns to show possession, then it is called when a noun or pronoun is used to show possession or ownership, then it is called what? Then they are called in possessive case. Nouns, when a noun or a pronoun is used to show possession or ownership, then we can call that noun is in which case? In possessive case. Example: this is Peter's umbrella. See here, Peter's. It shows what? Shows possession. When we ask whose, then we'll get the answer. Whose umbrella? Peter's umbrella. Whose umbrella? Peter's umbrella. So this next case is, so we have seen possessive case. If when a noun or pronoun is used to show possession or ownership, then we can call that a noun is in which case? Possessive case. Possessive case is also called genitive case. Possessive case is also called in a genitive case. Next, last one is fourth one is vocative case. What is vocative case? A noun is used to address a person or a thing. When a noun is used to address a person or a thing, then we can call that noun is in which case? Vocative case. Okay, example. Listen to me. Mohan. Listen to me, Mohan. Here Mohan, the noun is used to address a person. The noun is used to address a person. In such a case, in such a way, if we use the noun, then we can call it, we can say that that particular noun is in which case? Vocative case. That noun is in a vocative case. What is meant by vocative case? If a noun is used to address a person, then we can say that that particular noun is in a vocative case. So what is a case? A case shows the relation of a noun with the noun to another word in the sentence. There are four kinds of cases. We have seen four principal cases where principal cases are there. First one is subjective case. Subjective case is also called a nominative case. And what is subjective case? If a noun is used as the noun or pronoun is used as the subject of a sentence, then we can call it as in subjective case. Next is objective case or accusative case. What is accusative case or objective case? If a noun or pronoun is used as the object of a verb, then we can call it as an objective case. Next one is possessive case. What is possessive case? If a noun is, when a noun or pronoun is used to show the possession or ownership, then we can call it as in a possessive case. And the last one is vocative case. Vocative case, that means when a noun is used to address a person or a thing, then we can call it is in a we can call it is in a vocative case. Next is apposition. What is meant by apposition? See, just look at this sentence. Miss Scott, our new teacher, is a pleasant person. So here you can see Miss Scott, our new teacher, placed together. Here our new teacher describes Miss Scott. Okay. So in such a way nouns are placed, then we can say that this noun is in opposition to this. Did you understand? So when one noun follows the another, and if the noun which follows is said to be in opposition when it is used to describe the first one. Did you understand? When one noun follows another to describe it, the noun which follows is said to be in opposition to the noun which comes before it. Here two nouns, see Miss Scott, our new teacher. This one is this second part of the subject is both are in subjective case. Miss Scott, our new teacher is the subject here, and this noun is this part is used to describe the first one. So we can say that the second word is used in opposition to the first. Then what is meant by opposition? Opposition means when a noun follows another to describe it. When one noun follows another to describe it, and the noun which follows is said to be in opposition to the first one. When one noun follows the another to describe it, and the noun which follows is said to be in opposition to the first one. Okay. So here Miss Scott, our new teacher, is a pleasant person. Here the subject is Miss Scott. So our new teacher explains what who is Miss Scott, who Miss Scott is. Okay. So here our teacher is there to explain Miss Scott. In such a way, nouns are used. So then we can say these nouns are in apposition. Understood now? So what are the points we have discussed today? First we have seen what is a noun. Nouns are naming words, or a noun is a word which is used as the name of person, places, animals or things are called a noun. Then nouns mainly divided into two, concrete noun and abstract noun. So concrete noun I already told what is it. A concrete noun has material body. We can see it, we can touch it, we can experience through our senses. And the examples I told book, pen, pencil, duster, my name, your name, all these are the part of a concrete noun. Examples for a concrete noun. Then abstract nouns means they have no material body, we can't see it, we can't touch it, we can't experience it through our senses. This is the name of state, action or quality at all. Names of these abstract nouns are the names of state, quality or action. Again we have seen the concrete noun again divided into three. So what are they? Common noun, proper noun and abstract noun. Collective noun. So what is a common noun? A common noun is a name given in common to every person, place, animal or thing of the same class or a kind. Examples are told. And then next, what is a proper noun? A name given to a particular person, place, animal or thing is called what? A proper noun. Then what is collective noun? The words which we use, the words which we use to show collection or group of persons, places, animals or things are called a collective noun. Next we have seen number, singular and plural. Okay, that means if a noun denotes one, then it is called a singular. If more than one, then we can call it as a plural. Then countable noun and uncountable noun. The noun which can be counted is called a countable noun, which cannot be counted is called a uncountable noun. And again we have seen some nouns can be used as countable and uncountable. I have written the example of a stone. Then we see gender. So gender tells us whether the noun is a male or a female. So there are four kinds of genders. First one we have seen masculine. The nouns which are used as used for males are called masculine, and next is feminine. Nouns which are used as for females are called feminine. Then common, which can be used for both the male and female, and neuter nouns that are used for the names of lifeless things are called common gender, neuter gender. Then next we have seen case. Okay, what is case? Case show the relation of a noun to other words in the sentence. Four principal cases we have seen: subjective case, objective case, possessive case and vocative case. Okay, next we have seen apposition. Nouns can be used in apposition. How it is? If we place one noun to explain the another one, a noun is followed by another noun to explain the first noun, and the second noun we can say in opposition to the first one. Okay, all these points we have discussed. So all these points are given in your textbook. So what all the things I told, I think you can revise, and what exercises are there in the textbook. So I think the previous lessons exercises I have already given to do and practice. I hope you all have done, because it is very simple. And here in this lesson, page number 8, some exercises are given. Very simple only. Write the kind of each of the following nouns in the given space, and write common noun and write common C against countable noun and U against uncountable noun. Name the gender, write the feminine gender, all this. Okay, so we will discuss these exercises in the next class. So try to revise the points we have discussed. Okay, thank you.